Hey, guess what? You're a nobody and I'm a nobody. I'm Jimmy V, JV Coaching. Stay with me. I'm going to explain why. So here we are again, the de-stress program. We've already run through devoting appreciation to our feeling thoughts. We've then moved across to expanding the breath in innovative ways, and then we're seeking connection with our inner being. Really powerful stuff. Now we're moving on to transform our or your belief system. Beliefs are everything, but at the same time, they're nothing. What is a belief? Well, a belief is just a thought that we think over and over again. And let's put that into a better context. We think 80,000 thoughts. 80,000 thoughts per day. Gosh, that's a lot of thoughts, isn't it? And most of that 80,000 thoughts, they're done on autopilot. Our subconscious, our powerful subconscious, drives us to think these thoughts. Now, a belief is just the thoughts that we choose to think over and over again. And the problem with that is, of course, is that it can often lead us to stress and anxiety. Here's the good news. In the de-stress system, you will learn how to transform these 80,000 thoughts per day into healthier beliefs. Because when you transform them into healthier beliefs, you're going to start feeling much, much better. So coming back to all of this, these 80,000 thoughts per day, let's put that into an even wider context. Okay, you've got 150 billion neurons in the brain. You are made up of 34 trillion cells. Do you know what? If I was to write that, 34 trillion cells, that is sort of, it's easier to write trillion than the amount of noughts there is in a trillion, because I think it's about 12 noughts. But anyway, when we look at that in more detail, the 34 trillion cells, the 100 billion neurons, we can analyse that even more, which helps us to appreciate that we really are nothing. Okay? So, 34 trillion cells. Okay? What are they? Well, if we were to put these under a microscope, we've got a cell. That is our entire DNA composure. We put the cell under the microscope. We've got a chemical. So our thoughts are literally electrochemical structures. We break it down even more under that microscope, and all we've got is a wee little molecule. Okay? Then we put that molecule and we focus in even more, and we're coming to the atom at the atomic level of our being. Then we break that down even more. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are nothing. We are a nobody. And that's really important. Why? Because when we come to understand that our thoughts and our feelings are the most important thing that we need to govern, we can then take the first steps in becoming stress-free. I'll give you an example. Okay, it's March right now in the UK, and what that means is that all the local governments in the land have to use up all of their funding, which means roadworks everywhere. Now, what happened was I was coming back continually. There's like 4 different routes back, to where I live. And I'd come back and I'd get stuck in this traffic jam because they're digging up part of the road. So, you sat there in the car, da, da, da. And to begin with, I was like, no, I'm sat here, the lights are on red, it's taking forever. I think there's a cul-de-sac halfway down, so that's got to let those out. Somebody's got to come the other way, it's letting those through. And I'm just sitting there, for about probably 4 minutes, I reckon, something like that. And to begin with, I'm sitting there, oh God, blooming traffic lights, I can't believe this. I'm really getting vexed. And then I noticed, I took some deep breaths. I expanded the breath, started having a look around, the sun was out, there's trees to the side of me, there's nice houses, start focusing on some of the other people's houses, start thinking about how wonderful life can be and how lucky I am, and start focusing on all the good things. And then before you know it, these feeling thoughts are leading me to a much more satisfying place. Anyway, lights go to amber, go to green, I'm off. I go home, and it set me up for, the next moments that were to come. And this kept happening, because these traffic lights, they're going to be here for a few months. And I'd wind up in this traffic jam. And then the new belief formed. So the new belief, and we know what a belief is now, don't we? We know that the belief is just a thought. And we know that the thought is just a cell, part of a neuron, which all that is a chemical, which then reduces to a molecule, then to an atom, but essentially it's nothing at all. But it's not just nothing at all though, is it? Think about it. It's not nothing. We can't see it, but it's not nothing. Because if I sit there feeling really good about myself, if I really feel at peace, if it gives me clarity, if it gives me some confidence, if it gives me some meaning and purpose, then that invisible thought, that invisible belief is absolutely everything, because it means that I can be distressed. I can be stress-free. I can de-stress in that moment. And then those wonderful thoughts, which lead on to the positive feelings of being stress-free and vibrant and having more satisfying outcomes, that then leads me into even better ones. I'm Jimmy V, JV Coaching. De-stress yourself.